Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
All praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And this is Brother Decal, GMS Arkansas, GMS Stop and Listen. This Brother Tazamak from the Memphis camp, GMS Through the Fire. Hey man, we just gonna come. You know, the brother got a little something that was on his mind that he want to go over, man. You know how we do it. We want to let this brotherly love continue. You know, the brother that got it in on the streets today, he came out here, got it in with the brothers. So, you know, hey, might as well come on, get another lesson in before we get out of here. Put that safe covering over you as you travel. You know how we do it. So, without further ado, I'm going to let the brother go ahead, because this is something, you know, class he wants to go over. So,
yeah, you're just gonna get into how Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right, is the chosen family of Yahweh Shai, man. You know, you got these Christians. They try to put the entire world of nations into the fold of salvation, but that's against the scriptures. You know, the scriptures is clear cut about who the Lord's chosen people are. You know, Abraham, yeah, he's a father of a multitude, was Abraham, you know, but Abraham, all nations didn't come out of Abraham, man, okay? And even with the different seeds that come out of Abraham, the scriptures is clear cut about which particular seed, all right, is the chosen seed out of Abraham, you know, and there's no confusion in it, all right? Like the Most High said, he's not the author of confusion, all right, but of peace in all the churches. The churches is talking about who? The Israelites, the called out ones. So, you know, this is only going to be understood by those who were called out and those of that fold that were chosen. You see? So we're going to get into it, Lord willing, to be edifying to the elect.
And you know that when they say Abraham is the father of nations, like I said, it's dealing with, like, he had Ishmael, he had Isaac, and out of Isaac came Esau and Jacob. Okay, so he's the father for 3 different nations. Yep. But then within Israel, we are each 12 tribes a nation within itself.
Nation within itself.
Okay, this Amos 3:1, I heard this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken unto you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought out of the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Okay, it says, you have I known from all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities, man. So other nations can basically sin, but the covenant, they're not under the contract. The contract. See, so when we sin, it's a different punishment. Okay, so you know the other nations do sin too, because this is America is what that sinful what kingdom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let me get another one.
I got one.
Go ahead.
This Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh.
See, it said he had not dealt so with any nation. If we look at that word dealt, right, it's going to go into 147 and 19 or 20. He had not dealt.
Yep, verse 20.
So when you deal with something, it says that to bring about, to produce, right? To accomplish, to fashion, to fulfill, to grant, to hinder, to labor, to meet, to observe. So it says he have not, okay? He have not fashioned any other nation. or basically it says he has not worked to do work, to make, to produce. He has not observed or, you know, made or produced anything with these other nations. Okay, only the nation of Israel was under that covenant. And it came through what? Abraham,
Isaac, and Jacob.
Came through Abraham. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me get that in Genesis, where he came to Abraham. I think that's verse. Abram, what was his name changed? It was in 17.
Yeah, kind of.
Chapter 17. Okay, it says, chapter 17 and 5, Genesis 17 and 5. It says, neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, but thy name should be called Abraham, which is Abraham. Right? It went from the exalted father to the father of multitude. Yep. It says, for a father of many nations have I made thee, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Right? It says kings shall come out of thee. Okay? And it says, I'm going to read that again. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Okay? Now it says,
when you go into it, but it was a seed. It was a specific seed that
they got to keep reading too.
The Lord chose out of those nations, you know, they come out of Abraham. As you got those Christians, they sing that song, Father Abraham. And they say, Father Abraham and many sons have Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. How you know? Because all nations didn't come out of Abraham.
Okay.
And even when dealing with Abraham, there's a chosen within the chosen. You see?
That's right.
That the seed of Ishmael wasn't a part of it. You know?
That's right.
In that 17, you want to jump down?
Let's see. Go to RE 7. I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, in their generation, for an everlasting covenant, to be their power unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
And it say thy seed as in what? Singular. So that's talking about a specific seed. So you have to be able to understand that that covenant, when you go back to Psalms 147, Amos and 3, what we just brought out at the beginning, that seed is talking about the seed of Israel, okay? Which came out of what? The loins of Isaac, you know? So there's no confusion between it, because the scriptures make it clear, man. You know?
Read 8. And I will give unto thee thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power. See? And we're not in that land of Canaan, we're in that land of America. So this is like that prophecy, when they went back, that prophecy happened, but guess what? We left, so prophecy is getting ready to happen again. So we're getting ready to go back to that land, because we're in the land of America now. Now when you go to chapter 22, I think it's 22. It's 22 where you give that to Isaac. I think no, 20 should be 20 or 22.
I think it's 22.
It says right here.
You can start up and towards the top.
Yeah, it says.
That was the point you was looking.
Yeah, I think it started at the top. Let me make sure.
But I got some too.
Go ahead.
This is Galatians 3. I'm gonna read verse 7, and I'm gonna skip to verse 16. Okay, because this is talking about the seed, the particular seed that's the seed of the promise, right? It says, "Know ye therefore they which are of faith, they are the children of Abraham. Okay? So I'm going to jump down. Right? Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He said not into seeds, plural, as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach Yahushua. Now, when you do the lineage of Yahushua, right? You go from Matthew 1, okay? It's going to tell you what? That Abraham was his father, and Isaac, okay, was that seed. And it also tell you that when you read about Yahushua's lineage in Hebrews the 7th chapter, it say he was what? It was evident that he sprang out of Judah. Judah is the nation of Israel, man. Okay, it's one of the sons of Jacob. So it's clear cut of what seed. And I'm gonna keep going in verse 17 and say, Galatians 3:17, and this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of the Most High and Hamashiach, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more a promise, but the Most High gave it to Abraham by promise. Okay, which is what we're going into in Genesis, is in the history of which seed that the Lord established his covenant with out of Abraham, because Abraham had what, 8 sons, you know. So it was a particular one, you know. Did you see the point that you was looking?
I know it's right here. It's right in my face. I just had it today. Okay, I'll find it. I go over here and look. Cause we're going to Isaac.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. It's 22, I think.
Let me read this part of 22. I don't know if this is what you was looking for in particular, but this is sticking out to me right now. So this Genesis 22 verses 1 and 2. It's saying, it came to pass that after these things that the Most High did tempt Abraham, and said unto Abraham, Abraham, and he said, behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thy only son, Isaac. Now, when you go into the history of what happened between Abraham and Sarah, Sarah's handmaid Hagar gave birth to Abraham's first son, Ishmael. Ishmael was born before Isaac. So why is the Lord telling Abraham to go and sacrifice his only son, Isaac? Because Isaac is that chosen.
21.
I'm in 22.
Yeah, I seen one in 21.
Okay, come on. So it's because Isaac is their chosen seed, man. It said, take now thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him therefore burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I tell thee of. Okay? So this let you know that there was a significant significance between Abraham's seeds. Isaac was that significant one. You know, all the other seeds were not the ones that he established his covenant with. You know?
This is Genesis 21, and we will start up top. Read into it. It said, the Lord Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did upon Sarah as he had spoken, for Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age at the set time which the Most High had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son born, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Isaac means laughter, because they were old. Okay, they didn't think it was funny to them that they could have a kid that old.
That age, yep.
Yeah, it says, and Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as the Most High had commanded him. So that let you know that they was righteous men, because they went by the law of circumcision. Okay, he went by that law of circumcision, which is it speaks of that in, I think, Acts 7. It says, and Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was born unto him, and Sarah said, have made me laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. That's what Isaac means, right? It says, and she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should give a children suck? For I have borne him a son at this age. And the child grew and weaned, and Abraham made a great feast at the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out the bondwoman. Cast out the bondwoman and her son,
which was Hagar and Ishmael. Yep.
For the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And the Most High Yahweh said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because that the bondwoman and all Sarah have said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for Isaac shall thy seed be called.
And Isaac shall thy seed be called. See, that's that seed of the promise, man. You know? And that all throughout the scriptures is made clear. That's why you always hear those three patriarchs' names together when it's talking about the Most High's chosen, man. You know? The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, man. You know? Those are the sacred lineages of the Most High. You see? Because he placed a specific spirit in the genealogy, okay, in those genes, so to speak, you know.
He made them special. Tell you in Deuteronomy 7.
Yep.
We were made special and holy, separate from the other nations, holy. We would have a different character. We would be more physically and spiritual than the other nations. Okay.
Then what he do? He cast out Hagar. He say cast out the bondwoman and the seed of the bondwoman, man. So how you gonna say it's salvation for them? Which Ishmael today, what the nation of the Arabs are the Ishmaelites, man. You know, they don't worship. They into Islam, man.
Exactly.
You know, they worship the Quran, man.
They worship Saturn. And
yeah, man.
Saturnalia. I got some more.
Cunt.
This is Romans 9 and 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
In Isaac shall thy seed be called.
It says that is that which are children of the flesh. These are not the children.
To show you that you can't be no spiritual, you can't be talking about, well, I'm a Jew by the Spirit. You know, I'm a spiritual. No, you have to be of their lineage, of their line. You have to be according. That's what Apostle Paul said. My kinsmen according to the flesh. You know, you got to be of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man.
It says, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At the same time, I will come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Yep.
See.
Yep. And it's clear cut. I got a precept. This is Matthew. And this is Yahweh Shah speaking, man. Matthew 22 and 32. And it reads, that's 23, it's a lot. Matthew 22 and 32. Yep. Page sticky. Matthew 22 and 32. I am the power of Abraham and the power of Isaac and the power of Jacob.
There you go. Seeing them right in the room.
See?
That lineage, go ahead.
It says, the Most High Yahweh Shai is not the power of the dead, but of the living.
And we dead in these bodies, but why we live? Because of our spirit, our soul. Well, because these bodies are dead, man. You know. And then what was going on there when you go into it, the Sadducees was basically expressively denying the resurrection, and that the resurrection was by the law. They was really denying that when you go into that. Okay. But yeah. That's good scripture there.
So they're showing you, you know, Yahweh Shai, when he even like they try to make the New Testament be about everybody. How do you get it's 18 nations? When you go to the table of nations, how do you get out of what Yahweh Shai is saying right here, all these other nations coming into the fold? You see? That's why the scriptures are constantly making it plain that it's about Abraham, it's about the seed of Isaac and the seed of Jacob. Even when you go into his lineage, okay, because it tell you what in Matthew 1:21 that he shall save his people from their sins. Now, why does Matthew start off with this? I'm gonna read it.
Go ahead.
The book of the generation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which is say Jesus Christ is the word even knows him as, but we know his true name to be Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. And then it starts with what? Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and then it goes from there on to the nation of Judah, because it say Jacob begot Judas, which is really Judah. Okay, because Yahweh Shai, when you go to Hebrews, like we quoted earlier, was it 7:14?
Yeah.
If you go to Hebrews 7:14, it says, "For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah." Okay.
Say spring out of Judah. Matter of fact, oh man, hold that one. Let me get this one. Hold that one. We're gonna go into that one. This Genesis 25 and 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. Right? So Isaac, that seed was through Isaac, but Isaac had 2 kids. So let's follow and see where it went from there. And it says, and after that came out his brother out, his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 70 years old when he bare them. Okay. Now, when you read on down, it said Isaac basically like Esau because he was basically the elder. He was a hunter, but Jacob's mom, Jacob was a mama's boy. She basically, Rebecca loved Jacob. Okay, now we remember Abraham and with Isaac. Now, which one of these kids is going to get the blessing? Okay, because Esau, right, his skin was red as a Joshua wasted his way as heat. And when you read in Genesis 36, chapter 8, verse, it tells you he's the father of the Edomites. Okay, now let's see who got the blessing between the Edomites and Jacob. Because now let's see. Let's go to Genesis 27. Let's go to 27. Okay. 27 and where we started here. Okay, now we'll give you a synopsis of what happened. All right, Isaac was going blind, he was dying. So Rebecca, through the spirit Yahweh Shai she knew Esau was going to get the blessing of the kingdom, right? So what she did was she put goat hair on him because Esau was hairy, and sent him in to get the blessings. Okay, now he's going in, and it's verse 22, and Jacob came near unto Isaac his father and felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. Right? So he blessed him. And then Esau came in. Right? Esau came in. When Esau came back from hunting, it goes over here. it says, and Esau his father said unto him, who art thou? He said, I am thy son, that firstborn Esau. Right? And it says, Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that taken the venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and has blessed him. Blessed means to show favor to.
Yep.
He said, and bless him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed. So he blessed Jacob.
Yep.
And it says, when Esau heard these words of his father, he cried with a great exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also my father. And he said, thy brother came in subtlety,
yep,
and have taken away thy blessing.
Yep.
And he said, it is not he rightly named Jacob?
Yep, which he tried to play the victim.
Planner, yeah.
Yeah, like that's what Esau, Edom, so-called white man do. They play the victim. Because he knew the whole time what he did was he actually sold his birthright in a bet that he made with his brother. But was he planning
being
on...
hungry and shit.
Yeah, you know. Was he planning on having integrity? No, because it's not in his spirit. Because the rightful thing for him would have been to do when it was time for him to receive a blessing was to bring it before his father and say, give it to my brother, because he fed me when I was hungry, and I told him that he could have my birthright.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's why. That's why
no integrity.
He had no integrity.
Yeah.
You know, and that's his spirit. You know. Now, when you go to which I want to get a quick precept. That's why this account is in the New Testament. You see, that's why Romans 9 and 13 is in the New Testament, and this is exactly why Hebrews 12 and 16, because all that goes back to what we read now in Genesis 25 and Genesis 27. It says, Hebrews 12 and 16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
Ooh, what's profane?
Outside the temple.
Yeah. You
see? And it says, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So right here, Esau telling a goddamn lie. Talking about Jacob stole his birthright. No, you didn't. He didn't steal your birthright. You sold your birthright. And you had those Christians, they'll try to play on that and try to call Jacob the supplanter.
Yeah.
You know, but everything was already set up in the spirit to go like that anyway. That's why the Most High had it manifest that particular account and situation between Jacob and Esau, where he said, what good is this birthright gonna do me? Because he wanted what? He wanted that food right then and there. He didn't have any patience. And you notice with these Edomites, that's their main thing.
Yeah.
They have absolutely no patience. They can't take a second of suffering, man. You know? And that's what the Lord put in the spirit of Jake, is to be able to suffer. How you think we made it through
the bird?
Yeah, how we make it through slavery? For, you know what I'm saying? How we been making it all this time through all these conditions, right? With all the hell we've been catching, but yet we still the most fruitful nation on the planet. You see? That's what happened when we was in the land of Egypt.
With Pharaoh. Hey, the more we oppressed them, the more we was
popping. The more because that's really when you go into the blessing. When you really go deep into what the blessing is saying, it's like we gonna be that people that's gonna be fruitful and multiply. Because that's what pleases the Most High when you bring life and sustain life. Esau was given the sword, which is the opposite of what the Lord really blessed Jacob with. You see? Because that's how the way we was gonna obtain the fatness of the earth is through being fruitful, multiplying, and being having integrity by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments amongst us. Because we was always gonna be, hey brother, you need something, you know that, because that's how we are. Even with the enemy, that's how we are. And that's how they got us. You see?
Integrity.
Yeah.
We really the nice guy.
We really yeah. And that's how the other nations was always able to take advantage of us.
Because they not bound by no covenant for it. you know, the law, statutes, commandments make you have integrity, patience, make you mortify your members.
Make you mortify your members.
Matter of fact, I just think I just had that.
Con.
Make you mortify your members.
Which was Esau was incapable of doing. He couldn't control. He's a sensual creature, and everything is about pleasing the flesh. And you know, I gotta have it my way. I gotta have it's my money. I want it right now. And you know, me. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's Colossians 3 and 5.